If you're into classic gaming, let's plays, and reviews, check out our friends over at the Retromancers. Subscribe to their channel and watch their awesome content. I will leave a link to the channel down in the description. Welcome to Geek the Movie Talk, the video series or podcast series, however you want to call it, where me and a guest examine geeky, nerdy movies that all of you want to go see and are going to go see. And speaking of geeky and nerdy fantasies, we're gonna definitely satisfy them on this video. So we're talking about XMen Apocalypse. XMen Apocalypse is right around the corner, dropping this May. Bryan Singer saying this could be the final X-Men movie. But there's gonna be more X-Men movies, obviously, as part of the X-Men universe. And joining me to talk about these movies and what could come, please welcome a person who all you guys in the Dragon Ball community who are watching this know who she is, but before being a Dragon Ball fan, she was a fan of the X-Men because her name will pretty much tell you that. Uncanny Megan.
Hi, thanks for having me. Dragon Ball did come first, actually, but...
Okay, well, that's a damn idiot right now. Okay, well, if X-Men came, or if Dragon Ball came first and X-Men came second, obviously X-Men had some kind of impact on you for you to call yourself Uncanny Megan.
Did. Those are my two favorite fandoms, so...
Fantastic. So let's talk about X-Men Apocalypse. You've seen the trailer. It's coming out in May. Apocalypse is finally going to be the villain. Looks a little Ivan Uzi, but whatever. Oscar Isaac's a great actor. This movie, of course, is set to take place after First Class and after the 70s portion, I guess, or I think it was 70s portion of Days of Futures Past, but before X-Men 1. And it's going to basically tell the story of how Cyclops, Storm, and Jean joined the X-Men, and of course, what's going to happen with some of the other characters. What were your initial impressions of the trailer for X-Men Apocalypse, and did you ever picture an Apocalypse movie actually being made? I certainly didn't.
The first trailer, I was kind of iffy about it because I kind of lost faith. Since First Class, I've kind of lost faith with the X-Men movies, which a lot of people get mad at me about. It's like, I just can't.
First Class is very polarizing. Some people love it, some people can't stand it.
But, yeah, so I saw the first trailer, and I was like, it looks okay. This trailer that just came out, though, has me kind of like, all right, maybe it's going to be good. Trailer gives me chills. Everybody looks young, and I love it when things I like are teenagery.
With attitude. Now, Psylocke will be making her on-screen debut in this movie. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited that we're finally going to see Psylocke.
She looks good. What's her name? Olivia Munn?
She
right?
looks perfect, right? She looks exactly how she looks. Now, again, the rumors that have been going around. First of all, the first thing I noticed about the trailer, I wanted to ask your opinion on this. No Hugh Jackman, no Wolverine. Now, Days of Futures Past left us with a cliffhanger where Wolverine gets pulled up out of the ground and Mystique is the one who finds him. And there was rumors that Wolverine might end up being one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse in this movie, but we haven't seen Hugh Jackman in any of the material at all. I'm guessing they're saving him for the third Wolverine movie coming out.
Maybe, because, I mean, if Hugh Jackman had a set amount of movies that he's agreed to do, he might not have wanted to waste his last one on that.
Right? Well, he probably would have wanted to, and they would have had to fork out a lot of money, so maybe that's what happened.
Yeah.
You know how it is. But
or they'll surprise us with him. Like First Class had the little Wolverine snippet, you know. We might get something like that.
Yeah, a cameo. You're right. We might get something like that. I just feel like it's going to be weird having this X-Men movie without Wolverine. But the talks, there's a lot of scuttlebutt going on here because Jennifer Lawrence has said she is not going to reprise her role of Mystique after this film. So this is the last one with her. We've heard, of course, that Singer will be leaving the X-Men franchise after this. And, of course, we've heard that Hugh Jackman will be leaving the Wolverine franchise after Wolverine 3. So my question to you is, sounds like this thing is coming to an end. The Fox X-Men universe is coming to an end. How do you feel about that? What do you think they should do? Should they end it now? Should they tell more stories? Do you think there's a potential for them to do like a Mr. Sinister movie or something like that, even without these people?
I don't like Mr. Sinister.
I'm just throwing names.
Don't torment my brain.
All right, Games Master or Arcade. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I'd like them to...
The Phalanx Covenant.
I'd like them to either reboot, like an official reboot, not like it's the same universe, but it's kind of a reboot, and either a reboot or just give it to Marvel, because I like X-Men too much to keep dealing with this.
Okay, go ahead. I'll ask you a question.
Sorry. The whole time I was watching Age of Ultron, because we got Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, all I could think of at the end of that movie, was, oh my god, a House of M movie would be so good.
I was thinking if again, Marvel would ever get their hands on X-Men, even though it might be too little too late, I would absolutely go nuts for an Onslaught story. But I feel like the checks they're going to have to write to all these actors, because you have to understand, they got to bring in the A-listers from Fox and the A-listers from Disney. So you're talking about it's going to make the money back. It's freaking Onslaught. It's Marvel. They always make money. But I was thinking, man, what could they even tell that story? It would take multiple movies, I feel, to tell the Onslaught story.
I don't know. I don't even know if Marvel will probably never even get the rights back, because Fox is infamous for just keeping properties.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I think that Fox is doing okay with it. They took a shit on Fantastic Four, but I did enjoy Deadpool. Did you like that movie?
I thought, Deadpool, I don't like Deadpool.
Really?
And the Deadpool movie is probably my favorite X-Men movie, which is, it's not even an X-Men movie. It hit the point where I was like, that's such a good movie. Now my standards are just raised.
Well, now because of that, there's all these rumors about, R-rated everything. So, and I wanted to ask you about that. So, what do you think the future is for X-Men if they don't do a reboot after Deadpool and after X-Men and X-Men Apocalypse and Wolverine? Do you think that they will continue doing X-Men movies? We know that there's a rumored X-Force movie coming out, and of course, if it's X-Force, Cable would have to be in there. Do you think that X-Force, because I just feel like X-Force, I don't know if it would draw the kind of money that the X-Men name does. You know what I mean? Like X-Men.
Well, yeah, that's a concern for me too. And Disney Marvel's getting away with bringing in things like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff because they know how to do this pull and they know it's gonna work. But Fox doesn't really have that ability. And honestly, I worry. We're going great with Nerdom is huge and superhero movies are huge, and I honestly worry that Fox is gonna be the one to saturate the market and ruin what's going on for everything.
I think everybody's saturating the market though, because look, they keep announcing new MCU movies. There's new TV shows. Don't forget, DC is also doing their, extended universe. So it's
DC's also gonna saturate the market.
I know we're just totally screwed. So, wow. So if it were up to you, where would you go with the franchise? Would you make a New Mutants movie, maybe an Excalibur? Not Excalibur, they suck. X Factor. I'm just curious. What could they possibly do here? I think they could tell tons of X-Men stories, but if Jackman and Lawrence are leaving and Singer's leaving, it's almost time to just, tie it up and move on. I don't know.
Yeah, either end it, end it or reboot it, because then they could put all new actors, which they're doing now. Everybody's different, we don't have anybody that's the same except for the first class crew. But I just want not this.
Okay, what's bugging you? What's bugging you about this? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I don't like the whole Fassbender and whatever the other guy's name is.
James McAvoy.
I don't like Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique. I mean, she's a good character, but I don't know. She just doesn't feel like Mystique to me.
Did you think that Rebecca Romijn was better?
Yeah, I like Rebecca Romijn. She's hot too.
They're both hot. All right, let's be real. But I'll tell you one thing. I agree with you about one thing. James McAvoy doesn't do it for me as Professor until I saw Days of Futures Past. He totally won me over. I don't want your future!
I hope that he's going to win me over in this one, because we're going to actually get bald Professor X.
Yes, that trailer at the end when you see him bald, I was like, whoa! Oh, I knocked over the mic with excitement. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, I don't know. But Michael Fassbender, though, I do disagree with you on. I think Michael Fassbender's amazing. I think he's alpha male to the core. I love Michael Fassbender as Magneto. It just sucks that one thing. I'm going to say one thing about Apocalypse. Megan. I think that the trailer does look good, but I feel like, number one, it looks way too much like a comic book movie, and that kind of bugs me. And here's what I mean by that. Every big comic book movie has had kind of a similar thing where they have a bunch of bad shit happen, then the world's about to end. There's, a big disaster, big, huge climax at the end. That's probably why I like Deadpool and Gambit more. Not Gambit, sorry. Deadpool and Ant-Man more, because they were very personal stories. That's why I want to see Spider-Man, because it's a very personal story, right? But I feel like all these big movies like X-Men, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, they have the same, X-Men fighting the wimps, and then they go and fight the big boss, and it's just becoming very monotonous, in my opinion. Also, the idea of Magneto being a bad guy under Apocalypse control, I don't like that idea. Maybe it's not going to be just like that, but in the trailer, they imply that it is like that. I don't really like that. I don't know. How do you feel about that? I don't think Magneto would ever do that.
Yeah, I don't know. When they were first rumoring it, I was kind of hoping Professor X was going to end up being one of the Horsemen, because that would be cool, because you'd see almost a struggle.
That'd be fucked. They'd be fucked if that was the case. I was also thinking too. So okay, they own Fantastic Four and X-Men. They have the rights to both characters or both franchises or whatever. Why haven't we seen Franklin Richards, yo? What a mindfuck that would be. the Omega level mutant. So I wanted to ask you about Gambit. Coming out later this year. The original story treatment was written by Chris Claremont. It's going to be a reboot. In other words, what they're doing, and this is not for you, it's for the audience, is X-Men Origins Wolverine has been completely wiped away from canon. It is no longer canon. It does not count. This is going to be a new Gambit story with the same, continuity as the X-Men movies and with the same continuity as Deadpool, but it's going to be erasing that horrible, terrible Wolverine movie like Deadpool did. What are your thoughts on the Gambit solo movie?
I don't know how I feel, and it's Channing Tatum as Gambit, right?
That's the rumor. I haven't seen confirmation of that. Let me check real quick while we're recording this. Because
that's my biggest concern. I can't picture Channing Tatum being like Southern, Louisiana Southern.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Go ahead. You can't picture him being Southern?
I can't picture him doing, I don't even want to try to do the accent. I'm from there and I can't even do the accent.
The Louisiana accent? the Cajun accent.
And then I feel like I was talking, I don't know if we were talking about this on a podcast or what, but I was talking about it to someone the other day, and we were just like, you really need Rogue for a Gambit movie.
I would agree with you, yeah, especially after the 92 animated series. You got to have her in there. Maybe they will. Who knows? I will say this, though, about Channing Tatum. I was a non-believer until I saw Hateful Eight. He was so awesome in there as this inbred, redneck hick that I think he could probably pull off Gambit. I'm not saying Gambit's an inbred redneck hick, but I think he'll be okay. So before we get out of here, your thoughts on the future of the X-Men franchise. Kind of what do you think that, okay, if X-Men does not go back to Marvel, well, first of all, should it go back? You said earlier that it should.
Yeah.
And that they should put them into the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think the future is for X-Men? Do you think that they should have maybe since they have, Daredevil and, Jessica Jones, do you think that X-Men maybe could live on as a TV series, a live-action TV series? We haven't had one of those yet.
That would be... Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it because I'd have to research it to make sure I'm not jinxing myself.
What were you gonna say?
I'm pretty sure there was a X-Men-ish live action
Generation X is the one you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that only lasted
doesn't really count.
Yeah, it lasted 6 episodes. It was really bad.
Honestly, I don't really care about any of these live action shows, and maybe it's just because I haven't watched them yet, but I'm more about cartoons, and I'm just waiting for another X-Men cartoon.
We're about due for one, right? I mean, we get them every 7 years. They're like Pauly Shore movies. They come every 7 years.
But yeah,
Who broke a
Wolverine
mirror
the
somewhere?
X-Men was so good. And I want more of that, but we won't get more of that.
I take it you were a fan of the 92 X-Men animated series, the one everybody
I do like the I do like the Fox X-Men, but I also like X-Men Evolution is my favorite because, like I said, I like it when people I like are teenagers.
What would you have thought of Gotham High if they had actually done that?
I think I would like it, probably.
I think I would too. The thing that I love about X-Men Evolution is that Scott McNeil voices Wolverine, who is the original Piccolo, so that's always a mindfuck for me. I like it. All right, everybody, coming to a con near you, Uncanny Megan. Until then, subscribe to her channel. I will leave the link down below, and I look forward to talking to you after X-Men Apocalypse is out, so we can, even though the world is going nuts now for Batman, Superman, you know, good or bad, I look forward to talking to you when that comes out and kind of getting your thoughts on, you know, after the movie comes out, maybe we'll revisit this topic, because if the movie has closure, then fuck it, end it now, you know what I mean?
Well, I feel like I just need to throw this in before we stop. I met Bryan Singer last year.
Really? How did that go?
It was interesting, and he told me that this movie is going to be really emotional. He was like, I cried. It's going to be really emotional.
He cried even though he made the movie?
So that's what he told me. We ran into him at a con. He was just walking around because he lives here. So he like showed up at the convention and was just walking around.
I mean, he's a great director. I mean, let's be real about it. Let's keep it 100 here, okay? Bryan Singer. Now, I'm not talking about comic book movies, okay? I'm talking about as a director of film, right? He's the best director to ever do a comic book movie. I know some people are going to say, Richard Donner, which I respect. That's actually a good point. And actually, you know what? It probably is Donner, but let's just scale it back for a minute. And, of course, Christopher Nolan, another one. But, dude, Bryan Singer did At Pupil and The Usual Suspects. Like, those are like, especially Usual Suspects. That's like a 6-star movie. 6 out of 5. In proper fraction. So, I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, this guy's got a catalog of masterpieces, all right? So, I look forward to seeing him do this movie, but I do worry that it's going to, it'll be his last one. I think he should do all of them. He should be like JJ and produce them all or something. All right, well, everybody check out Uncanny Megan and let us know your thoughts down below. Are you anticipating X-Men Apocalypse? And what do you think the future of the X-Men franchise theatrically will be? Catch you down the road.